Hey, what's going on, people? Today we're going to be doing a how-to video on how to make interesting B-roll from nothing. So I think a lot of times it's easy to feel like when we're shooting our videos, I think it's easy to feel like the place that we're in just isn't interesting enough to shoot good footage or to shoot good B-roll. Because if you're in a place like New York or you're at the beach or something like that, then it's really easy to get really good footage for your B-roll and stuff like that. But sometimes we're in the middle of nowhere, or sometimes we're at a store, and it just doesn't feel like we can make it interesting. So today's video we're going to talk about that. Try to essentially make interesting B-roll from nothing. So we're going to go outside, see what's out there, and just kind of talk about B-roll a little bit, what B-roll is, and how to make it interesting for different situations. Yeah, so we're just going to have fun with it a little bit and shoot some stuff out there. So let's go outside. Alright guys, so we're outside now. So the first thing that we want to talk about is, what is B-roll? So in film you got A-roll and B-roll. So your A-roll is your main footage. So say we're walking around out here and I'm talking about a tree. So I walk up to that tree and I'm talking about the branches, I'm talking about certain things. During that, while I'm talking to the camera, I cut to a piece of footage that shows that tree. Well, that tree footage would be the B-roll. So the B-roll is the film or footage that you shoot to put over top of your A-roll or your main footage. You guys will see what I'm talking about here in a second. Alright, so say for instance we're walking out here and I'm talking about my shoes or my feet or something like that. And while I'm talking about my shoes, I'm cutting to a video of me walking or something with my shoes in it, like you guys are watching right now. That is what B-roll is. So that's just a quick, brief description of what B-roll is and how it works and how it can kind of make your films interesting and stuff like that. Alright guys, so the other thing about B-roll is you want to be thinking about why you're shooting your B-roll or the context of your B-roll. So what I like to do for my B-roll is I visualize it ahead, so I kind of already know what I'm trying to portray, or the mood or the message that I'm trying to put out to the audience, to the viewer. So what I mean is, like, say you're talking about a product. Well, you're going to be showing B-roll of that product, obviously, but say I'm vlogging and I'm going from one place to the next, well, then I can use B-roll to convey that passing of time. But like I said, be thinking about the reason why you're doing the B-roll and the context of that B-roll and how it makes sense to the viewer, and I think that'll help you get started at least. Alright guys, the other thing I was going to tell you guys as a little disclaimer, I am not a professional, I'm not a photographer, I'm not a cinematographer, I'm just a guy that shoots vlogs and does YouTube videos, and I really have a passion for video. I love shooting video, I love everything about it, I love trying to get different shots, finding new ways to make things interesting. So like I said, I'm not a professional by any means, so I'm just kind of sharing with you guys my perspective of what B-roll is and how it affects my videos and how I kind of tackle it and how I try to make it interesting. Alright guys, so shooting B-roll from nothing, shooting interesting B-roll from nothing. So as an example, we are here at our house at the property. We're on 13 acres, and as you can see, there is just nothing out here. I mean, it's just trees and land and whatever. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to challenge ourselves a little bit, and we're going to try to get some good B-roll of the property and just kind of what we're doing out here. So the challenge is, and I've done this before, so a while ago I shot an icicles B-roll video. I got it on my Instagram and I'll link it down below, but I shot an icicles video and I challenged myself and I was like, I want to try to make something that's stupid and make it interesting. So I want to be able to make something to where I want to be able to make a video where it can be anything. Doesn't matter if it's cool or dumb or simple or complex. I want to be able to shoot something and make it interesting no matter what it is. Anyway, I shot that icicles video. Man, I'm climbing uphill. Look at this hill right now, guys. Woo! Anyway, I'm climbing uphill, so I'm a little winded. So let's challenge ourselves a little bit and try to make interesting B-roll from nothing. So, like I said, we are out here in nothing, man. Like, literally, there's nothing out here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and make the best of things and just make it work. Alright guys, so typically this is the way my brain works about B-roll. So usually my first step in shooting interesting B-roll, especially when we're in a place like this, is I try to find just the simplest of things that win, boy. My first goal is to capture the environment, because I'm trying to portray or trying to bring you guys into our world, bring you guys into where we are. That's my first step. That's my first thought, is how can I shoot our environment in a way that you guys can almost feel or see, get a sense of our perspective while we're here, wherever we're at. Doesn't matter if it's a store, doesn't matter if you're in the woods, doesn't matter where you're at. So I'm gonna shoot a few clips, some environmental clips of different things and different textures and stuff like that. See what we can come up with out here. The other thing is to remember, feel free to use your camera and all the features that you use. I'm talking focus, blurring stuff out, and get creative with it. There's no right or wrong here. This is art, right? So if you think it looks good, if you like it, and it's something that you really strongly feel is good, then that's good. Then use that. So here's a few clips of the environment and where we are. So here we go, guys. Here's some B-roll. So I watched a video the other day. It was a Peter McKinnon video about B-roll, and he's talking about basically kind of like the complete package for your B-roll. So he gave it an example that him and his friend was going to shoot some photos and stuff, and so he did B-roll of that, but he also did B-roll of them actually shooting footage. He also did B-roll of like drone stuff. I think the takeaway I got from that was kind of like, so, you know, say you're shooting a vlog. Well, it's nice to shoot some B-roll, but sometimes you want to throw yourself in the mix because you are part of that story. So if you're shooting a vlog and the people are watching you, you're the subject, you know what I mean? So you should also be the kind of the subject of your B-roll. And so I think that's kind of a cool, interesting perspective when it comes to your B-roll. It can also make things very, very interesting. It can be simple things. It can be you just walking. It could be anything. So, but if you incorporate yourself into the B-roll, it kind of lets your audience in on a little bit more of what you're actually doing and gives them the big picture, so they can actually get a good look and get a good perspective on it. So I think it's just another element that you can add. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot a little bit more B-roll, but I'm going to try to incorporate myself in it, and then we're going to cut those together and then see what we come up with. Alright guys, and the last element you really want to be thinking about is kind of music you want to put to it, because the music can kind of change up the whole feel of the entire segment. So think about the feel of the environment, of the mood you're trying to put out, and then choose the music accordingly. I'm not going to talk about music too much because we can do a whole video on music. So we're going to go back inside and we'll wrap things up there. Alright guys, so that's how you get good, interesting B-roll from nothing, or almost nothing. So, like I said before, the trick is to try to, you can make almost anything interesting. It just depends on how you shoot it and if you're having fun with it or not. Because at the end of the day, if you're not having fun with it, then it's not going to come out right, and you're just going to feel like you're forcing it. It's not going to look good. So have fun with it, and like I said, I'm not a professional. This is just something that I like to do. I really have a passion for video, and I love shooting stuff and getting interesting angles and all that stuff. So if you guys enjoyed this video, if you got something out of it, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We do vlogs, how-tos, challenge videos. We do multiple videos every week, like 3 or 4 videos every week, so make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you later.